and open. Yeah.
Okay,
I've been in my Bible lately. You understand me? Like, shit crazy out here.
World said fuck us, so we said fuck the world.
You know,
the world said fuck us,
Matthew 24:13.
so we said fuck the world.
He that shit endure to the end.
The world said fuck us,
shall be
so we
saved.
said fuck the world.
Fuck the world.
The world don't love us, no, so we said fuck the world. Look, I know your kinfolk gone, but hold on. I know them lights ain't on, but hold on. Look, even if you feel you got nothing to hold on, I got a message. God said, hold on to your sanity. I know you in a position that you ain't planned to be. With our lives, we're not addicted to gambling. You feel the pressure and the thoughts in your head are scrambling. You feel the storm getting closer. You feel like giving up before you even start, then it's over. You feeling like fuck it, you going through too much to be sober. Life is passing you by as you do this over and over, over and over, over and over, over and over. Time to make a change now. Instead of that, you fall a victim to the same now. Starting to find out that this life is not a game now. Back against the wall, couldn't run as the poor man screamed to the top of his lungs. Said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world don't love us, so we said fuck the world. For real, look. Cover your eyes, don't wanna see the blood on the leaves. Bodies of eyes innocently hanging from trees, floating in screens, blood in the water, blood on the altar. Still don't believe justice is coming. Heavenly Father, did not Christ say vengeance is mine? Don't even bother. When he return, it's gonna be slaughter. Ooh, I know you don't wanna face it, but what's real love sound like hatred. And you gotta be fucking crazy if you think they gonna get away with killing all them babies, feeding them to alligators. All the women that was raped, the transatlantic slave trade made us build a nation that we can't partake in. School to prison pipeline, mass incarceration. All the lives that's been taken, hated to love it. You only talk about forgiveness cause we never get justice. I think you really reluctant. I remember hearing a hood nigga say all the shit he would have done if he was living during slavery. Look what's going on today, and you ain't doing a damn thing but putting shame on your ancestors' name. But who's to blame? All these drugs, pills, weed, beans, lean, and cocaine. I get the feeling that we living in a big dope game. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world don't love us, so we said fuck the world. Hey, I don't give a love to fuck what them bitches gotta say. I'm a West nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't give a love to fuck what niggas say. I'm a West nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't care about what they say. Hey. Fuck with my Akima, fuck with my sister, and I got a problem, I'm never gonna miss you. I got 100 hanging out the AR. I got a 50 hanging out the pistol. He say it's corner, I'm just being realistic. Got on the corner, so with the if it's the then we going fishing. No, million on 10, but I'm stamped in the pistol. I get the glad to dismiss you. Hebrew Academy graduate, nigga. Training, go through the baddest conditions. I don't fuck with none but the baddest of bitches. She righteous, submissive, she good with like that, man, nigga, know I'm a puppy living disrespect. I ain't having that shit till I go make some business from scratch. See, bitch, in the different breed of black man. We don't do the back thing. I remember back when I was really trapping, trying to get the racks in, selling dope to black men. But now I'm trying to make it straight. Like, forget about my face. We sticking up straight, can't hold us. Too heavy, the world won't hold us. Go get you some rank, I told you. Line up in these ranks, we soldier. You can take that to the bank, we focus on how many times must we remind you? One body, one rest, one week, I will never take up as a flex. When the law with you ain't no up next, it's just us, nigga, that's that on that. All that weak shit, that ain't no threat. Say you won't beat, bitch, with that ain't no sweat. We with all that, we with all that. The Lord called a nigga out the world, I responded and called back. Oh Lord, and everything that they stole from us, fuck that shit, we want all that. Them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on, the command and general, your honor, we unaffiliated with them. Like they tongue and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. That's why we unaffiliated with them. I cannot fuck around with fake niggas. We taking ground when we in your city. You better have the women, have the liquor. Keep that bitch on me, please don't but the system. Don't be a fool and be another victim. Say you a goon, you just another Christian. How you my brother, you ain't in the wicked. You in the gutter, deep down in the trenches. We with them niggas locked up in the prison. Fucking Hispanic, Native American, Indian. We ain't just talking shit, but we living in it. We be everywhere, you can't miss it. And we be precious hell, take a picture. Play, we gon' spread out, we some dealing, nigga trippin', they mind blown. Swear it, forgive me if I'm wrong. I don't get it, Paul. Niggas say that they be looking for niggas to slide on. Slide that, I know that I send with the slide for real. I get the order, you know that it's law. See me and my niggas gon' die for real. The bigger the better for kingdom of heaven. You niggas get wet up, my niggas I'm fed up. I rep UPK, my niggas won't let up. Got choppers, got nines, AKs, Berettas. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with me and my nigga like bitch or whatever. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with me and my nigga like. Them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on, the command and general, yeah. We unaffiliated with them. And they say they keep it 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Yeah. See, they always ask us like, why y'all fuck with such and such? Why y'all won't come together with such and such? I be like, we unaffiliated with them. Understand me? Like, niggas be out here on some weirdo shit. And to be honest, that's why we unaffiliated with them. Hey, that's why we unaffiliated with them. Yeah. Oh.
All right, Shalom, Lord Christ. This is Friday Night Lashwan Kadash class. We are the Isupk started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana, and today we're going to be teaching who the nations are. So, we're finna get right into it. And before I get into my class, I do want to say Salakia, which means sorry for all you who don't know. I was late starting this class up tonight because Brotherhood was activated. When Brotherhood is activated, Brotherhood is activated. If your brother or sister need help, you got to get to them. So let's get to it. So since we teach about nations, first we're gonna need, well, let me get a better marker. First, we're gonna need the definition of what a nation is. So let me write this out. Nation, right? So we're gonna look it up right here. Okay. So just 1 second. All right, the definition of nation is, let me make sure I'm putting this around here. All right. A large, I put an O, a large is crazy. A large body of people united by common descent, history, culture, in the class that we're in right now, and language. Like I said, this is the Lashwan Kadash. Lashwan means tongue, or you could say speech, or even language. And then Kodash, which means holy, right? So for those of you who didn't see, I'm gonna say tongue. Mm-hmm. Which means holy. Now, back to the word nation. It said nation is a large body of people united by common descent, history, culture, and language. Well, if you go over across seas, you go to China, everybody gonna speak Chinese, Cantonese. You go all the way over to Japan, they're gonna speak Japanese. You go all the way to, let's say, Spain, everybody speaks Spanish, right? And all of those are different nations, different bodies of people. Those are not their biblical names. And that's also what we're going to go into for tonight's Lashwan Kadash class, right? So let me get this rest off the board. I'm going to give y'all some time to write that down, the definition of what a nation is. And we're going to jump right into it. I believe that's enough time. So for time's sake, we're going to go ahead and erase this off the board. Anybody that's watching, put a 1 in the chat. If you can hear me, if you can't, no sweat. I'll fix it. But to anybody put anything in the chat, I will continue with my class. So, it's a lot. All right. We're going to learn about every nation known to man. So we're going to start off with Israel, Edom, right? Make sure I get everything accurate. Moab and a brain fart. And Ishmael. Elon, Japheth, Ham, I believe that comes. Right. So first nation that we got up here is Israel. This is the first nation, and let's not forget what the definition of nation is. The definition of nation is a large body of people connected through descent, heritage, culture, and language. Keyword language. So, in this school, we teach the Lashwan Kadash, and we also speak the Lashwan Kadash. So, first, we're going to start about who is Israel, where Israel is the so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians to this day, right? Next, we have Edom, who are the so-called white people. Moab, the so-called Chinese. Ammon, the so-called Japanese. Ishmael, well, the so-called Arabs, or whatever you want to say, Palestinian, all that good stuff. Elam, we got the East Indian, the people who like to walk around with the red dot on their forehead. Japheth would be people like your Samoans, Ham, African, Mizraim, well, Egyptian, but still what you would say African, right? So, what is the Hebrew name for Israel? That would be Yash. And over here, well, let me start off right now. Last one can die. I want to write it in our language first. Then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna write it in the Assyrian, but I'm gonna write it in a different color, maybe red, maybe blue. Where we get to what color by the time we get to Mizraim. Then Edom, who is the so-called white people, you'll write their name out as Da. Let's too spaced out. Nah, got write it correctly. So like it. Da, Wa. Then we got Ma. Out of one. So Da, one. Now, this right here is a clear distinction of white people because dark-skinned people, it don't matter if you the 12 tribes of Israel or even a Hamite, a little funky person. Well, the only people whose skin complexion, as far as my knowledge, that's only able to turn red, so happen to be white people. But ironically, or so-called white people, so like you, or you can say the oppressor. But besides that, they are the only people who could become Adam. The color red. Adam means red in the Hebrew. And we're gonna get in that as well. As a matter of fact, I want to write red right next to it because I'm finna make a clear distinction. Moab will be my but yeah. Olive. Okay. So Elon will be your lung. All right. Who this is? Okay. Pause along. Just real quick. All right. Yeah. It'll be. Okay. All right. So first we got Yasser Olive, all right? Israel. Then we got Adam, which is a nation of Edom. We got Moab in the Hebrew to be Moab. Oh, Salaki. Gotta do my connectors. And we got Imawan, who is Ammon. We got Yeshai Mayala, who is Ishmael. We got Ayalam, who is Elam. We got Yapah, who is Japheth. Then we have Kam, or you say Ham, right? But we speak slang, so we're gonna say Kam. That would be Ham. Then we got Matazarian, or Mizraim in the scriptures, right? So we're gonna I don't want to just stay and read it. Now we got Latino and the so-called native. Yeah, I ain't gonna be able to fit that. Okay, so first we got Israel, who is Yasharala, or you can say the so-called blacks Latino, and natives in America. That's the nation we are. And we all spoke Hebrew before we came over here and had our language savagely ripped from us by a bunch of savages who once then turned around and considered us to be savages. But last time I recall, we didn't overtake them, force them to speak our language. We didn't take their language. We didn't do any of that, but they did do that to us. So before we came over here, everybody was speaking Hebrew, or you say Lashwan Kadash, right? So that's how we are connected, or one of the ways we are connected. Next, we got Edom, who are the so-called, I don't know how to say Caucasian. So we're gonna say, yeah, we just go. White people. Right. Then we got Moab, who is the so-called Chinese. I said I was gonna write it in a different color, but instead I'm gonna just keep it all black. That way you all be able to see. I don't want too many colors going around the board, and I don't want anybody getting confused. So let me make room. Then we have Aimuan, or you can say Ammon, who are the so-called Japanese. So for anybody who don't know, these are everybody's nations according to the Bible. And we're going to be pulling up exactly where they are found. All right. So-called Arabs. East Indians. Okay, some orange. Okay, so now this is not the whole list that I'm going through, but this is what we're starting off on. So first we got Israel, who will be Yasha'ali, and it's spelled out in the Hebrew as Yah, Shah, Ra, Ah, and La. Then you have Salaki, and they are the so-called Black, Latino, and Native Indians in America. The next nation will be Edom. In the Hebrew, that will be Adawam, and that will be spelled Da, Wa, and Ma. And those are the so-called white people. So, next we're going to go down to Moab. And in the Hebrew, that will be Mawa'aba. And that would be spelled Ma, Wa, I, and Ba in the Hebrew, or in the Lashwan Kadash. And they are the so-called Chinese people. Then we have the nation of Ammon, who is Aimawan, and that would be spelled I, Ma, Wa, and Na. And they are the so-called Japanese people. Next, we have Ishmael, or you can say Yeshua Mayala, who in the Hebrew be spelled out as Y. I mean, Salaki, brain fart. Ya, Sha, Ma, I, Ah, and La. And they are the so-called Arabs today. Next, we have Elam, or you can say Ayalum, who are the East Indians, or you can, for a clear distinction, not they're not a different form of Native American Indians. No, they're not that. They are the people who wear the red dots on their forehead and known to have uh, a very unique way of hygiene that I wouldn't recommend. Next, we have Japheth, or you can say your pop, and that would be spelled Ya, Pop, and Tha. And those are the so-called Samoans today. Next, we have Ham, or you say Come, who are the so-called Africans, or just another subset of the Africans, but they are African indeed. Mizraim, or you can say Matazarian, and that'll be spelled Ma, Aslaki. And of course, you spell Ham in the Hebrew is Kam as Ka and Ma. Salaki. All right, now back to Mizraim, who is Matazarian. That will be spelled out in the Hebrew as Ma, Taza, Ra, Ya, and Ma. And those are in the Bible as so-called Egyptians. And that's who everybody would know them as today. All right. So we're gonna go where to find these nations that I put on the board in the Bible or in the scriptures, rather. Right. So I still don't want to leave it at that. I actually want to give them the Syrian, but I haven't gone over the Syrian yet. So I'll get right into it, right? So the first two will be found in the book of, well, I could just do this here and I just go over it with y'all, but I want to write it out. So I'm gonna just do it like that. Just write it out. All right, we got item one once again. Yeah, I'll just put my phone on the duster. All right. was wrong. Yeah, confusing myself. That's why I wanted to go over this another time, but I have to write it out. So we just gonna learn as we go. So I got a little hangman. Alright. Alright. We got calm. And we got my. Sorry. Right. So this is how you write it in our language, and this is how you write it in the oppressor language, who are a part of the nation of Edom, or you can say the progenitor of the white races, right? But it's really key that we learn this Assyrian in today's age, because we're going to see a lot of things that are written in Assyrian nowadays before we see anything written in our language. And that is because we have been in oppression all this time, and we're just not coming back into our language. And thanks to the men above me and the men that came before me, and more importantly, first and foremost, we thank the Most High in Christ for even giving us the opportunity to even go back and learn what you see on this side of the board. So I'm gonna go over all of this next week, which is the Assyrian. But this is this. It's just written differently. It's written in our oppressive language. So we're gonna go over this one more time. Israel will be Yasher Allah in the Bible. Right? That's who we are. We are Israel. You're gonna find these names in the Bible, and these are the Hebrew names of the name that we see in the Bible. We got Yasher Allah, who are the so-called Black Spanish Native. We got Edom, who is out of one, the so-called white man. Then we got Moab, who are the so-called Chinese. We got Ammon, the so-called Japanese. We got Ishmael, the so-called Arab man, who is Yeshua Mayala. And we got Aylan and Mawa'aba, just in case I've got to go over there. Now, we got Elam, who is Aylan, the so-called East Indian man. We got Japhet, or you can say Yapaf, the so-called Samoans. Then you got Ham, or you can say Kam, the so-called Africans. And there are a few subsets of the so-called Africans. Now, at the bottom of this, we got Mizraim, or you can say Matazari, right? Who are the so-called Egyptians. So I'm gonna leave this on here for about, I'd say roughly 20 seconds. Nah, 15. You know what I'm saying? For anybody who may have missed it, might need to write this down. Even if you already know any of this, if there's a chance that you cannot say any of these off the top of your head in this exact order, I would recommend that you write it down and you tell it to yourself until you memorize it, got it in your head. That way, you know what to say before you have to even say it. Now I'm going to erase this portion. All right. Now, Israel me see how that looks. You can't really see it like that. Let's see about the red one. The nation of Israel can be found in Genesis, the 25th chapter. As a matter of fact, no, I'm not going to do it like that. Let's do some way writing. I'm pretty sure everybody want to get straight to the point. So, where these nations can be found. In the red color, the mark will be that distinction. That way, when I write it out, it's an automatic, okay, it's written in red. This is where I find it. Instead of me just going back, doing a little too much, because I'm trying to teach you how much I can in a little span of time. So, first, 2 will be found in Genesis, the 25th chapter. Now, let's see where I want to start at. Honestly, I need to get authorization. I don't want to go all the way off the topic. I need to stop listening to it. Just say I'm gonna put on do not disturb. Okay. Okay, Moab will be found, or the so-called Chinese man will be found in Genesis 19th chapter, and as will Ammon. Then the so-called Arab will be found in the 16th chapter. Instead of writing the red, I could just write chapters. That way don't nobody get confused. And then I'm gonna fill this board. So we're gonna put now I can fit it. All right. Now you will find Elam, or you can say the East Indian man. In the 10th chapter, you will find Japheth. In the 10th chapter, you will find Ham. Also, in the 10th chapter, as well as Mizraim, will also be found in the 10th chapter. Now, I don't have enough time to go back and read it, but I do recommend, after watching this class, you go back You read these. If you have access to a Torah app on your phone, you can also read it in the Assyrian. Of course, choose English, but once you read it in English, you will most definitely see the Assyrian written on the bottom. As a matter of fact, I don't know if the camera will catch it. I'm running out of time, so I wouldn't be able to show you. But I will recommend you download Torah app in order to go back and read all of this in the English, and up under you will see the Assyrian, which I have presented up here first. If you come across this video, or if you were paying attention in this class, you will most definitely see that I had the Assyrian written. Now, as a reference, you could use the Lashwan Kadah that I had written here. If you see my first class, or if you need to go back and see it, or maybe you need to see another brother's class, look for the Hebrew alphabet. If you're looking for my class in specific on the alphabet, you will find it under the title Unlearn and Relearn. And every single character is in correspondence with the Assyrian. They are written differently, but they are the exact same thing, the exact same word, the exact same sounds, the exact same everything, right? The only thing that's different is the writing of it. So, now that we got that established, I'm gonna go ahead and erase all this and try to get the rest of everything on this board. All right. Now next, set of nations, which should be the last set of nations, right? We most definitely be needed to learn, and that would be none other than Canaan, Cush, and Foot. So I get to write a big. No, spell 2 A's. Tripping. Canaan, Cush, and Foot, right? Oh, I'm brain farting. It don't look right. Yeah, now it's coming together, right? So, Canaan, Cush, and Foot. Now, in the Hebrew, we will write Ka, Na, A, and Na. They say Kana, Ayin. Then we have Cush, right? And that would be Kawash. Salakia. Okay, found the do not disturb. Okay, now next we have Kawash. Then we got Watt. Right? And then the Syrian, well, first let me just let this sit for few seconds. Everybody trying to write that down. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take this off the board. Once everybody gets wrote down, I'm just gonna give y'all a good 10-15 seconds. And it's been 10-15 seconds since I wrote it. So now I'm gonna take this down. Then I'm gonna go back and write it in the series. Right, so that'll be, oh, I keep doing that. Okay, so Kai, right? Kai, no. Okay, kind of iron. Then we got wash, as well as watts. Right. So that's how you write Canaan, Kana, Ein. Then you got Kush, which would be Kawash. Then put, you would say Pawat in the series. So that's it for a good 5-10 seconds. And it's been 5 to 10 seconds since I wrote it. Now, of course, just like every other nation is going to be found in Genesis. And just like the few that was at the bottom of the last list that I wrote, they will also be found in Genesis, the 10th chapter. So, this will be the nations. And as we all know, a nation is a large body of people connected through descent, heritage, culture, and most importantly, language. I know that I'm saying the definition a little different than what I gave there because I kind of forgot the exact order of everything, but I will tell you that that is the right definition. Now you go back and look up what a nation is. So we all know what a nation is. But for this class, we're just gonna keep saying connected through language. Because this right here is the Hebrew language class, or you can say Lashon Kadash, the Holy Tongue. Right? So, I believe that should be my time. I done went over all the nations, how to say their names in the Hebrew, and where to find them. And if you watch the video and you do your due diligence, you should know how to write them in the Lashon Kadash, or you can say the Paleo Hebrew, and you can also write them in the Assyrian, which is more of a modern, but that is our oppressive language. They took our language and just spit all over it, just made it into something no different than you giving a child a crayon and you ask them to write a love letter. They're gonna put whatever you tell them to, but they're not gonna do it exactly how you want to. So that would be the end of Friday night's La Swanka Dodge class. And once again, like I said at the beginning of the video, we had an ISUPK started on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. This is Friday Night La Swanka Dodge, and that is my time. Shalom.